Hello, beloveds, and welcome to the Black Mirror Oracle. Today, as I was scrying in the Black Mirror, I got this image of two people. I've been getting a lot of these images lately, so I feel like a lot of them are about relating to people. So these two people were facing each other, and one person was holding a mask. But they were holding the mask like... So if the two people were sitting here, this person was holding the mask up where they couldn't see the other person's face. So the mask was covering the other person's face, but it wasn't that person's mask. It was the person holding the mask. They were holding it. So they were looking at this other person, but they were holding a mask up over their face. And then this person who was holding the mask up reached down and picked up like a vial of something like this, and drank it, kind of like Alice in Wonderland. They shrank, but the mask stayed big, and the mask was still covering this other person's face. So the immediate energy I got from this was the feeling of like how sometimes we get upset with people or we shrink ourselves because of what we think the other person wants, or the feeling or idea of who this other person is in our mind. So we talk a lot about how we mask ourselves, but sometimes we mask other people too. And when we do that, we can shrink under the fake expectations that we created about them. So this shows up a lot if you're with a person and you're just seeing their potential instead of seeing who they really are. That's that mask, right? Let's take a look at this. Clock. Time, urgency, and seizing the moment with intention and purpose. This is my new Shadow Fates Oracle. It's from this lady named Hattie who's on Etsy. I mean, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I like to support individual creators, and these cards are beautiful. So with this being said, with the clock, seizing the moment, intention and purpose, you are tired of kind of being at the whim of this inner, because this is a program, right? This is conditioning. We are conditioned to see the potential instead of what's really there. You feel like you've lost a lot of time with this. Well, now's the time to save yourself time by being intentional. Letting stuff go when action isn't aligned with words, action isn't aligned with you. So the other person can be a good person, but still not be aligned with you. You might need certain things, and that's okay. And no one else can tell you that you're too much, right? You often shrink yourself. A lot of us, we often shrink ourselves to make other people more comfortable. I'm not saying go stomp all over other people. Everyone has their own autonomy. But if you are trying to be friends with someone or work at a job or be in a relationship with someone, and they say, well, I just can't give you compliments, but compliments are important to you, which they can't do that. That is really low effort. Then you can just say, oh, okay, well, they can see like, oh, you're asking too much, but you don't have to believe that. That's a fake story. That's their opinion. It doesn't affect you unless you let it affect you, right? And you're not ready to waste any more time on this. You got the clock because you're done with that, right? You say, here's what I need. It's reasonable. Even if it's unreasonable, like let's say you require someone to pay 100% of everything. Well, you know what? If that's what you want and you desire, you might struggle to find that, whatever. But the point is that what you want is what you want. Obviously we're always trying to be better people, but there's someone out there who wants to be who who just matches you naturally. This world has 8 billion people in it, and one person who's trying to convince you that they are the only person that can make you happy has an ulterior motive, has an agenda. You need to be questioning that, looking at actions, not giving them a beautiful mask, looking at their actual face. Because if you give them that mask, you will start shrinking. And you drank that potion yourself, right? For your shadow card. Yeah, This is about illusions. Is this person your king or queen? Is this person really as great as you think they are? Or did you make them great because you were thinking, oh, I see who they could be? Now, I have fallen into this trap before. So no shade here, no judgment. What happens is you see someone and you are sensitive and you are empathetic. You see their soul. You see the pain that they've been through. And so you see that. They're stagnant. They're not moving. They're not doing the work. So you step in and you say, I'll do the work because I see the royalty in you. I see the sovereign self in you. But they haven't done the work to live in that sovereign energy. And therefore they are dead weight. And if they aren't actively uplifting you and you actively uplifting them, then you're pulling each other down, right? Your relationship rises or falls to the height or depth of the people in it. Ego. Ooh. Yeah. So when this happens, two things happen. This is where I'm getting this ego card from. Number one, actually three things. Number one, it can bruise your ego to say that you put all that work into something and someone, and then it's kind of embarrassing, right? But there's no shame in it. You didn't know, and now you know. Number two, people like this are usually very egotistical. Like they dish out a bunch of stuff, but they can't handle anything back. So then you start questioning your own judgment, right? And so that's your ego and their ego. But there's also this idea that this situation destroys your sense of self, destroys your ego. Everyone is always like egos are 100% bad. That's not true. Egos serve their purpose. They just need to be kept in check, right? This kind of person will keep your ego in check, but it's not their job. It's not an external forces. It's your responsibility to keep your own ego in check. If someone else is trying to keep your ego in check, that's because they've got a problem. It's no adult's job to put another adult in their place. And if someone is putting you in your place, but you're just holding that mask up between you, making it look like that they're doing something good, or you're forgiving some things like that, that's self-sabotage, that's self-betrayal. These are heavy words. These are heavy wounds. Do not feel judged here. We were conditioned this way. It's been a very high level of conditioning in a lot of societies for millennia. Of course, it's hard. I just think it's great that we have the opportunity to widespread share this stuff now so that more people can get out of these loops. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Broken wishbone, wish will not be granted. Look at those together. Bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. Okay. For bag here, I get the shadow bag. I get baggage. So it really is a conditioning reason that you may have fallen into this kind of situation. So yeah, be gentle with yourself. But having carrot next to broken wishbone, so opportunity or windfall right next to wish will not be granted. Sometimes what you wished for the most is actually something that is not actually for you, and that was actually just put in your path to, I always say we rise to the level of our own wounds. And what I mean by that is you can think of it as a spiritual thing, but it's also just a practical thing. Like I said, if your knee hurts, you ignore it till it gets to a certain place of pain, and then you notice it. You just rose to the level of your wound. You don't go to the doctor till a certain point tips. It hurts. Now it hurts worse. This is the point where I change. I go to the doctor. So if you're in this energy, there's a moment where it becomes so painful. You thought this was your wish, and then you realize, I don't want that. I'm going to go for a real opportunity. And I like this because for a person who has been the subject of injustice and had their ego beaten down and stuff by another person like this, whether it's directly by name calling or just making them question their reality, by being like, is expecting my partner to say thank you when I do something nice, is that too much? No, of course not. But look how bright and shining and beautiful this is. This is saying you can be yourself. You can be yourself. We're going to get out of that shadow energy with yourself and into this bright light. Beloved, you are doing the great work. This stuff is not easy. Starting off here with, we have Knight of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Judgment, a card that needs to be covered. It's such a pretty card, but I can't show you. It's the World. Oops. Okay. I should probably go through and put sticky notes on those. All right. And then we have Ace of Pentacles. All right. So your advice in this situation is to slow down and start observing. Abundance is right around the corner. This Carrot and this 10 of Pentacles energy, that is abundance. But you have got to end a cycle. So there's a moment of, with this Judgment card, a reckoning, a recognizing. They are responsible for their part in this. But did you hold that mask up? Did you inflate their specialness? And did you indirectly harm yourself by uplifting them so much that you became smaller? You erased parts of yourself. That's the reckoning. That's the Judgment card coming. But with this comes this opportunity. The end of a cycle. This isn't just the end of maybe a specific situation. This is the end of a shadow cycle for you. This is the end. You're not going to fall into this trap again. You see it now. You're not going to waste any more time on it. And with the end of the cycle, new opportunities in your life, in your physical life, measurable, real life changes. Waking up every day and feeling ecstatic about your life. Now, even on days when you feel the worst, you can still feel, or at least say, like, I'm so grateful for my life. I am not spiritual bypassing. I don't do that here. And I am not manifest shaming. I do not do that here. So, but what I do here is remind you of your own autonomy. We do have to take responsibility for our parts of things. But we also have to be, you get 3 of these today. We also have to be really careful to make sure that we are making the other people responsible for their parts of things, right? But that doesn't mean it's your job to teach this person. It means it's your job to let go when you need to let go. You're about to write that big paragraph explaining. Just stop, delete it. Is it worth your time and effort to explain to a grown person how to be a decent person to you? Or do you deserve better? Do you feel like you don't deserve better because you've been worn down? Do you feel like you're dependent on them or you need them? Do they feel very special? Objectively, are they all that in a biscuit too? Sometimes they're just a pain in the ass that you put a nice mask on. Even if they're not. Even if they're a good person. If you are miserable, if you are shrinking, if you aren't your full self, if you have to edit yourself, that's still not the right person for you. You want to be your vibrant, bright self, right? You don't want to be a shadow of yourself for the rest of your life. You don't want to be a mask of yourself or having to mask other people to fit in. Your body is time. Look at that coming right on the clock. You feel the urgency. You've been through this cycle many times. And like I said, this is closing out the whole shadow bag cycle. This is not just closing out a single event in your life. This is like you've had all these battles and now you're about to win the war. But remember this. That wishy-washy energy that you can give yourself over these things, that's time. Time that's meant for you. Necromancy calls. Don't, to me I get this, don't spin the block, don't revive what is already dead, right? If you start talking to someone and you see that you're putting that mask up between you, if you see that you're giving them a lot more credit than they're showing, that's trying to revive this shadow bag. That's trying to do that. Don't do it. Don't bring this pattern back to life. Let it die. This pattern has done nothing but hurt you. This is a societal program pattern. You don't need it anymore. You don't need to earn decent behavior from other people. You need to control access to you. Look at that. Carry hope. That brings the most joy, the most peace, the most vibrancy. I love this card because look how vibrant and colorful this umbrella is. Look for the silver lining. Yep. All right, beloveds, this is such a beautiful message of hope. And I know that a lot of the shadow messages can feel very personal. Like sometimes they can even be taken as attacks. I promise nothing like that here. I am just a mirror. I'm just here to expose the things. But when those things are difficult to see, it can hurt to see it. So I just want you to take a moment and pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a little kiss. Mwah, and just tell yourself how appreciative you are of yourself for doing this work. So I say this all the time. When you heal yourself, you start healing the entire world, because one healed person is a mirror to other people that triggers them to start healing themselves, and then it ripples out from there. So you are doing the great work, beloved. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.